Okay, good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be back. I really missed you guys last week. First and foremost, thank you so much, Teresa Walbrink, for stepping in for me. It's one of the greatest things about having amazing people around you and surrounding yourself with winners. But I'm sure you guys got a super great training last week. If anyone ever feels like they want to get their feet wet and join me in some training, I am more than happy to have you on with me. So if you want to advance as a leader and you feel like you want to step up and do a little training with me, that'd be awesome. So feel free, anybody, to reach out on that. So good morning, everyone. Today is, oh my God, we're almost halfway through the month already. I just can't even believe it. Today is February 13th. I can't even believe where time goes sometimes. I'm going to share my screen with you. I just want to go over a couple of announcements. As soon as I get my buttons going here. Okay, there, yay. I had a little technical difficulty. Just being real here this morning. So here it is, profit in your PJs. It just wouldn't be the same if we didn't share this screen in the morning. This is a great time where we can all come together and you can invest time in learning more about yourself, about your business, about becoming an entrepreneur in your Nerium business, and also taking some of these tips and strategies into your personal life as well. So we have a couple of quick announcements. Number one, I am recording. I do put this up on my YouTube channel, On a Camp, and you can find any of the trainings that we do there. They are not private, they are public for everyone. If you subscribe, you'll always get a notification when there's a new training. Sometimes during the middle of the week, I pop up the camera on and I have a couple of insights that I learn or think about, so you'll always get the notifications if you miss the morning. But for those of you that are on this morning, welcome. I see that you are, I was gonna say not lazy, but I see that you're invested in your business, because I know it's 7 a.m. on the West Coast. A lot of people are on their way to work, don't have time to get on here. And for those of you that invest in this live, you guys are just ahead of the game because you get everything right away. A few things, speaking of investing in yourself, we are just about 10 days away from the Epic Bash in Dallas, Texas. I am actually on the committee for that, and we have some trainings you've never seen before. This is nothing like a glorified regional or a watered down national conference. This is going to be amazing. We have some super fun stuff planned. We've got a party going on Friday night, and it is going to be, as usual, quite epic. And so before I get into the training, just one more thing that I want to show you guys and share with you is this. Success really is just ahead. And I loved this quote, "The road to success is always under construction." And just the fact that you're on here today tells me that you're investing in this road to success. You're on the verge of who knows, it could be you could be one person away from an explosion. But today the topic is going to be really about overcoming obstacles, about getting your head in the game, and really most importantly, the mindset of a champion. Because what we do here is not hard. What we do here is very, very simple. There's a lot of skin out there. There's people that want to be well, people that have a brain that they want to fortify or definitely strengthen. And we have amazing products. So it's never the products. It's definitely not the comp plan. We all have the same comp plan. It's certainly not the tools. We all have the same tools, right? It's certainly not the training. We all have access to the same training. I'm Nerium University, and today the corporate update call. We all have access to these things. So what separates the people who are really moving forward in the business and really aren't. And that's what I want to talk about today, because I think here's where we get stuck. We have vision and we have a certain amount of skill, but I think we get stuck because most people think that if I have more skill, then I'm going to be better at this business, and it's not. It really is the mindset. So you think you want more of a skill set, but really, what you want is, a lot of people say, well, just give me the words, give me the magic bullet, tell me the shortcut. I've had people call and say, just, what did you do? How did you do it? What is it? And it's really, guys, it's mindset way more than skill set. So we have fears and we have limiting beliefs every single day that keep us from putting what we learn into action, right? Because we all have the ability to learn Tuesday mornings like this. Annie does a great Zoom on the other mornings. We have ability to learn there, and regionals and everything. We have all the tools where we can learn. But I think that it's a lot easier sometimes to just keep learning than it is to put what you learn into action. And I'm not talking about, you know, building your business, but actually doing the work and putting into action what you learn. So I'm going to talk about the 4 fears that we have, and I want to talk about the solutions for those. And hopefully this will help you move past any obstacle that you have, or that feeling of being stuck if you feel stuck in any way. But when I began to research this and do some of the work behind the training that goes into this on Tuesday mornings, I was really amazed. And I actually was able to put my finger on something that I had not put my finger on before. And I'm going to share that with you as we go forward here. But the number 1 fear that people have is, what do you guys think it is? You guys are all thinking right now, what do you think it is? Okay, so the number 1 fear that people have is the fear of rejection. I honestly believe that this is the number 1 fear. And I believe that this is 100% self-imposed, right? We make it up. So if we're going to buy into this big bunch of nonsense, we can buy out of this big bunch of nonsense, because this is absolutely self-imposed and we make it up in our head. So that means that we could unmake it up, right? Logical. So I want to give you the perception so you can shift your perspective about it. So I think that we don't want to be rejected because what? It hurts our feelings. As a matter of fact, our closest friends and families are the worst, because they have the ability to hurt us more than anyone else does. We care about what they think and so on and so forth. And that's why when you have somebody new in the business, you have to stay very close to them, because the people that they're going to talk to first are the very same people that can hurt their feelings and who they can feel the most rejection from, because they're going to talk to their closest friends and family. And while we all thought, I see you guys nodding, while we all thought that this was going to be easy because my friends are going to support me, my family's going to support me, that doesn't always happen. But when somebody says no to you, they're not saying no to your soul. They're not saying no to you personally. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to the products, or they're saying no to the business. And if you think about it for a second, you've all been out to dinner somewhere and the waitress or the waiter has said to you, hey, can I get you dessert? And you look at her and you're like, no, I'm so full, or I really want some, but I'm on a diet, or whatever it is that you're thinking, whatever it is that you say, but you say no. And sometimes you're too full and you're not nice because you're uncomfortable. You ate too much. And sometimes you just spit the words out. No, I don't want any coffee or dessert. But does that hurt her or his feelings? No, right? Because they ask it, that's part of their job, but they don't care. It's professionalism, really, developing the professional non-attachment to the outcome. Write that down. Develop the professional non-attachment to the outcome. And so I really believe that being rejected is totally a choice. Totally a choice. I was listening to a woman speak that's in her 50s. She's been divorced for a couple of years, and she has been thinking about dating really for quite a while. And she's been doing this thing where she's like preparing to prepare, right? And because she doesn't want to be rejected, right? So she's been, working on these dating sites. She's been preparing her picture. She's been reading the different bios. She's trying to, wrap her brain around doing this. But she said what she realized was that she didn't want to have the feeling of rejection when she put herself out to begin dating again. And so it's really easy. I mean, even for somebody like her, and this is a professional woman, she's a motivational speaker, she's a trainer, she's very sought after, she's an author. And when I was listening to the story about that, I thought, wow, that's it. That's what we do. And so that really kind of leads to the next thing. So with fear, guys, it's just as easy to buy into it as it is to grab the thought of it, recognize how you're feeling, and squelch it. It's just as easy not to buy in to that fear of rejection. So this is all a choice. So this took me kind of to the next thing. Number two, the fear of failure, right? And so the fear of failure, you guys are the ones that prepare to prepare to prepare. Just like the woman I was talking about, she had the fear of rejection, the fear of failure in dating new people. So she was preparing to prepare to prepare, right? I got to get the right picture and I got to write the right bio and I've got to read a whole bunch of other bios because I got to see how this thing works and doing all this research. And she was saying that she realized that it really was the fear of rejection and the fear of failure at this new dating. And after I can't blame her, right? After 23 years of being married, it's a very new thing, especially if the last time you dated, you were 22 and there wasn't any of these dating websites, right? It's all brand new. So the fear of failure is a big one. Prepare to prepare to prepare. And when that's when you are working on stuff, right? You're working on your list. You're working on your maybe Fort Knox in a box. You're working on filing things. You're working on labels for your samples. You're working on all these other things so that you don't have to go out there and feel the fear of failure, right? Because if you just keep preparing, you don't have a chance for anybody to say no. Or to fail, right? So this is really an avoidance thing. You're avoiding the fear of failure. So newsflash, guys, you will fail. Newsflash, no doubt about it. You will fail in this business. I have failed and failed and failed. And the antidote here really is fail forward, right? So are you, it's really about your perception of failure. So are you the kind of person that when somebody tells you no, you're like literally on the floor? Like, I'm just devastated. I'm on the floor. When someone tells you no, do you go fetal? Right? When somebody tells you no, does it take weeks for you to pick up the phone and call the next person? Does it? Do you find yourself making excuses because once somebody said no, you have that fear of failure, and so you back away from it and you get busy and you're preparing to prepare to prepare? So does it take weeks to get up and talk to the next person? Is it hard to muster up that courage? So the fear of failure, if that's you, how do you respond to this perceived failure? Okay, because it's perceived. Do you call? I mean, do you quit? Do you freeze? Do you stall? It's a lesson, okay, not a failure. Write that down. It's a lesson. Thomas Edison said, I didn't fail 2,000 times. I learned 2,000 ways that didn't work. So fail forward. It's okay. There's a lot of skin out there. And we have tons and tons of, now we've got, 12 products, 12 countries. There's always somebody to talk to, and definitely about a different product that we have. So that comes to the next fear, which is number 3. This one might surprise you. This one is the fear of success. Okay, so this might sound strange, but it's a very real fear. Some people have an upper limit or a ceiling on what they feel they can accomplish. And really this comes from programming that we got, a lot of us, before we were 6 years old, because up until the age of 6, children's brain waves are in theta. So this is the state where adults are half awake and half asleep. So the brain is highly suggestible, right? And a child's subconscious takes everything in and records it as fact. So whatever we heard before the age of 6, we have taken as fact. It could have been our parents fighting in the other room and, taking something they said into subconscious there. It could be something that somebody told you. And it may be strange, but, maybe somebody said when you were young that you couldn't do that, right? So it's kind of this upper limit or this ceiling that you have that has been conditioned into you from your past. And so, maybe someone said that lemonade stand was a dumb idea. Now, I was definitely older than 6, but my dad told me, you know what, you don't need to go to college. I didn't go to college. So why would I send you to college? If I send you, I got to send all 5 of you. We don't have money for that, right? So I was just conditioned to think that, I guess, I'm not important enough. Out of 5 kids, I was the only one that wanted to go. And it was a no, right? And, I just thought, wow, okay, well, I guess You know, maybe I'm not worthy of going, or maybe I didn't think this consciously, but as I look back, it was, I think, a very big deal to me. Also, I remember that sometime in my early years of dating, I was dating a guy who was studying to be a doctor, and he was from a very upper crust New York family. And I remember meeting his parents, and one of the first things they said to me was, "Where'd you go to college?" And I remember going, I didn't. And I was incredibly judged. As a matter of fact, they told him that he should not be dating me because I had not gone to college. So the fear of success is a very big and real fear, right? So if somebody told you that you couldn't do something and you listened to them, most likely you have some of this fear of success. There's fear of success also centers around money issues. So, you know, maybe you heard something, money is the root of all evil, or, you know, wealthy people are so stuck up, or, you know, oh, the Joneses, somebody around you judged people that had money, and that created that feeling of, you know, maybe the success is not good. For some reason, success is not good. So I want to give you a couple solutions for this. So if you have issues that you think might be around money, The Soul of Money by Lynn Twist is an awesome book. So The Soul of Money by Lynn Twist. And then if you feel like you have upper limit issues, like you feel, you know, any of the things that I said resonated with you, or you've been around somebody that said you couldn't do something, or, oh, you know, you're not smart enough for that, or you're not good enough for that, or, oh, that's a stupid idea. Then upper limit issues, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks is a really good book for that too. So that's a great solution for that. And then the fourth fear I want to talk about is the fear of letting my family down. This is a big one, guys, and I really see this more with women than men, because typically we are super achievers as women. Many of us work outside the home, and we have kids at home, and we have to take care of the household and the husband and the kids, and we're the very last ones to take care of ourselves, right? Everybody gets the attention, everybody gets what they need, and we are usually last. So the reason that I want to talk about this one is it's this pressure to perform, and and it might be, oh, I need to make some money to take the pressure off my family, right? Maybe that's it, you know. Or it might be you don't want to let the family down, you don't want to let your husband down, you don't want to let your in-laws down, and then with that sometimes comes guilt, right? I don't want to take time away from the family. I should be with the kids. I should be working, or I'm not doing enough, right? And we start hearing things like, oh, mommy's gone again tonight. Oh, mommy's on the phone again. And mommy's favorite word becomes, shh, I'm on the phone, right? It becomes, shh, I'm on the phone, right? And I really laugh sometimes when I say that, because the visual that came to mind was a gal on my team, and I remember she had 3 kids under 5, and she would have them busy, but the youngest one she would throw goldfish to. While the youngest one was crawling, she'd throw goldfish, and she kept the youngest one busy chasing after, you know, the goldfish, the little cheesy cracker goldfish, and that it always brings a funny visual to me when I think about it. But as women, you know, we've forgotten to connect with what lights us up about this business, right? So what is it for you? You know, what's driving you to build this business, right? Is it that you want time away from the family, and that you want the relationships? Is it that you want, especially particularly with moms? I remember being a single mom, and I remember feeling like, wow, I need some adult interaction. I need to stimulate myself somehow here, because I'm getting really boring talking about little kid stuff and talking baby talk. And maybe that's it, right? Because everything else comes first, like family and kids, and we always come last. And so what's driving you to build the business? Is it the collaboration? Is it the challenge? Is it the camaraderie, right? We all, you know, I believe that everybody does this because you want to make a certain amount of money, but what more is it? I love the collaboration. I love the challenge. 6 years later, it's still a challenge for me. I'm learning and growing all the time. And I love that even though it's very simple business, and even though there's only a dozen products, it's still a lot of business. Maybe it's the dream of what you see that this could do for your family. And so the solution of this, for, you know, feeling like you're letting your family down, really is communication. You know, getting your kids involved, telling your husband, you know, what this would provide for me is, what this provides for me is, it gives me a sense of purpose. It gives me the ability to collaborate with other people. It helps me, it's helping me to grow. I see this as a way to fill in the blanks, you know, make more, have more time, or have more money, or maybe take some pressure off of you if you're talking to your husband. This is why we want to get our family involved with our vision board, right? So when you say shh to your kids and you're on the phone, you have really engaged them in the reason why you need to talk on the phone. And it's a very big deal in getting the family involved in the dream board. So how do we overcome some of these fears? I want to talk about some of the concepts around that. Moving through the fears, developing the posture, etc. So those are the 4 fears. Let's talk about some solutions, some more solutions. I gave you a couple solutions on the way. The self-talk. What are you saying to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? I can't do this. This is too hard. Whatever you're saying to yourself that does not serve you, eliminate it. Because it's one thing if you're saying it to yourself. It's another thing if you're verbalizing it out loud, because thoughts are things, and when you verbalize them, they become even more real. You speak them into existence. So, you know, maybe your self-talk is, oh, I just don't know technology. I mean, I just, you know, I can't do this, right? I couldn't get on a website and figure that out. Or maybe it's, no, I can't sell, or, you know, I don't have the time for that. You know, maybe these are some of the things that you're saying to yourself, is particularly if you feel the sense of failure, if you feel the sense of rejection. It's really easy to melt back into some of these things and make excuses, which are no more than perceptions, guys. If we have perceptions that we have, we can change them. It's a choice, right? Oh, I'm not a numbers person. I could never understand the back office. That's just way too complicated for me. So how much better would it be if you felt like you could master some of these things? How much better would you feel if your self-talk became a game changer, right? Hold your thoughts captive. It's biblical, and there's a reason for that. Like we got on here, and one of you guys said, oh, I know, it was Anne. She's so sweet. Anne, you're the best. She said, oh, you sound terrible. You have to take care of yourself. You sound like you don't feel good. And I said, are you kidding me? My body's got a cold, but I feel great. Are you kidding me? I feel great. And I always do that. So one of the things that I want you to do around this is grab somebody that can hold you accountable and ask them to compassionately bring it to your attention. Okay, so tell the people around you, like, catch yourself and say to somebody, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to speak that anymore. You know, I always think of Teresa Walbrink, who used to say she was challenged with technology, and now whenever she says anything like that, she grabs it and she changes the wording again. So she's constantly stimulating her subconscious with her words. So ask somebody to compassionately hold you accountable. So our self-talk is a huge game changer. And that's why the I am statements are so important. So I am abundance. I am fully equipped to lead an international team. I am a genius. I am, right? Whatever those I am statements are. But you guys, more importantly than just saying your affirmations, you've got to do it with an elevated emotion. You have to feel in your heart that you feel that this is going to, whatever it is going to happen. Raise your emotion, because when you take a clear intention with an elevated emotion, science tells us that we can change the outcome of our life. You have to have the elevated emotion with it. So take some time, breathe, and use your I am statements to do that. So your belief system is huge. Your belief quotient expands through action and achievement. Write that down. My belief quotient expands by action and achievement. So do you believe that you're going to get to the next level? Do you believe that you're going to grow the business? Do you believe that you're going to lead a big team? Do you believe that you'll have people in multiple countries? Do you believe that? That's really important, you know, because if you don't believe that you believe that you believe, then we need to go back and work a little bit on the belief part, right? And so we can all choose to change our self-talk. We can all choose to change our limiting beliefs, but you have to want to. You have to make the decision to do it and do it. And it takes daily action to do that. Really important with a new person. This speaks to the new person, right? The belief quotient expands through action and achievement, right? So you want to get a brand new person started very, very quickly. We talk about the belief check, and it's so incredibly important. And so if you've been sitting back and you have any one of these, fear of failure, fear of success, you know, fear of letting the family down, whatever these fears are, fear of rejection, whatever these fears are, really ask yourself, because I always say self-awareness is the most important thing that we have. If you're self-aware and you know where you are, then you can make the choice to change it, all of its choice. So, and then staying even. This is a really important one. This is the last point that I want to make, staying even. And what I'm talking about here is not getting too high and not getting too low. So you go up and you sign a customer, you go up and sign a brand partner, and you get all high and you go like, wow, this person's going to make me lots of money. Oh my gosh, this is going to be the thing. This is going to be it. Or you get a customer and they buy an advanced skincare set and they're all excited and you just know they're going to become a brand partner. And you stake all of your emotion into that, right? So stay even. And I mean, stay off the roller coaster, guys. It can be a complete roller coaster of emotional reactiveness. Right? Emotional reactiveness. Stay off this, because I really think that today's technology is part of the reason, because we have so much information coming to us all at once that we're like on top of our phones. Somebody texts something, we like, bam, react. You get an email, you're like, bam, react. The phone rings and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to grab it. Bam, react. And in the moment of emotional reaction and that emotional roller coaster, you do things and say things that you don't want to do and say. So as a leader, you have to keep that balance of staying more even, not just in Nerium, but for your whole entire life. So respond on your terms and define your leadership style by that. So if you have awareness of it, so all of this is awareness, right? If you feel like you're just pushing paper around on your desk and you're not doing a activity, become aware that you're aware of what you're doing, right? And change it, because it's all a choice. And this is going to help you with every single area of your life. And it does take practice. You know, I don't think for a second that that any of this is easy. I've practiced it. I've worked on it. I know the leaders that are on this Zoom this morning have also done it and practiced it. Some of us don't really think of it and define it in the way that I did today, but really it's just doing the work and really developing the mindset of a champion. And I think these are some of the biggest things that have helped me in my business, and I know that they will help you as well. So I want to just share one last slide here with you guys, and it's this. Oh no, that's a blank one. It's this. So the purpose of fear is to raise your awareness, not to stop your progress. And if I were to define this entire training this morning, I would say this is really about having the mindset of a champion and understanding these fears, becoming aware of these fears and using them to help you with your progress, and not shrinking back from this. So back to everybody here. I actually got this done in 30 minutes. I didn't think I would be able to do that this morning because I had felt like I had a lot of content and there were some really important points. So I hope this has helped you guys. I hope you have gotten some great value out of this morning. And I want to take a picture of you guys. I'm going to stop the recording though.